modify slightly from the previous example. So here I do not want to use PowerPoint slides to explain anything. Yeah, because if I just work on the explain the code directly, so we can save some time. Yeah. All right. So here, yeah, let me bring up the code example. ex2d5.php. Yeah. I just modify the previous version ex2d4.php, sending data using the post method. Now we just switch from post method to get method. Yeah. Actually, if you only want to do the small change, there is some minimum change you can do in the HTML form. Change the post method to get method. Then you're done. So if you make that change, then you send it using the get method. Yeah. But here I don't want to do that way. Yeah. Because if I do that way, nothing new to learn. Right? Yeah. Just a easy, quick switch. Yeah. Here I want to use a slightly different way so that you can learn something useful. Yeah. So here I won't use the HTML form to send the data. I will use JavaScript function to send. So you can use JavaScript. So here you can learn how to send the data using JavaScript function. Yeah, so that's very useful. Okay, all right. Yeah, so let's look at the code. So here I changed the minimum code. Yeah, if you compare with the previous version, I only talk about the change part. Yeah. The first change, straightforward, we just change from post method to get method. Capital input underscore post parameter, constant. Yeah, that's a, capital we mean the PHP constant. Change from that constant to this constant. Yeah, so that's the first change. Other than that, next change, I add a JavaScript function. Okay, so here the definition of the JavaScript function. Let me explain this function later. Let me first go through other relatively easy part. Then at the end, we get back to this function. All right. First, I remove that HTML form. Here you can see there is no form element. No form element. I move the table, yeah, this same table. I move it out of that form. So I erase that form element. Yeah, just take the table element out of that form element. All right. Then another change, remember the submit button. For the submit button, I change it to, because that one is a submit type. Here I use the button type. When I use the button type, I add an on-click JavaScript function, send get data, this function. Yeah. I need to provide a definition of this JavaScript function later. Okay. Other than that, all the same. So the last step, let's get to this JavaScript function definition. Okay. It's pretty simple. You can see, one thing, before we look at the function definition, another important thing we need to change. Remember, in the previous example, we used the name attribute because when we submit a form, we need to retrieve the data from these input fields through the name attribute. Yeah, but here we do not submit a form. Yeah, so we do not use the name attribute. But in our JavaScript, we need to use ID to retrieve the data. Get element by ID. We need to use the element ID. So I change name to ID. Okay, yeah. The value the same. I do not change the value. I just change the attribute name. So ID, ID, and ID. 3 input elements. I change all of them, the attribute from name to ID attribute. All right. Then when we retrieve the value, 3 values inside the send get data function. Yeah. So I use 3 variables, then retrieve. How to retrieve value here? Use the document.get element by ID, then double quotes ID dot value. So you retrieve the values. All right. Then how to send the data here? This one line. Yeah. So learn this way. This way is commonly used. Document.location.href. Document. That's the object name. So we know our HTML file, there is a object corresponds to the whole HTML file. So that object is called a document object. Document object dot location. Yeah, here. Location. Yeah. Dot href. Yeah. Because we want to send a request to the server side data processing file. Yeah. You know, here href, just like a hyperlink. Okay? Just like a hyperlink way. Yeah. Look at the HTML URL we used here. ex2d5.php. The same file, right? Our current file is called ex2d5.php. Yeah. We just want to call our current PHP file another time, but when we call it, we want to change the parameter values in this way. Okay? Yeah. All right. So the question mark, the way I described it before. Yeah. Yeah. But here we use JavaScript variables to provide 3 values: tn, rn, cn. Yeah. Then execution of this line, you will see what? Yeah. You will see this file is displayed or called in this web browser with new parameter values. Yeah. Yeah. That's simple. Okay. All right. So the last step, let me just run this file. Yeah. The look the same as the previous one. No difference. All right, no difference. Yeah, the last one, yeah, the table too small. Yeah, let me use the early one. Yeah. Yeah. All right, yeah, let me try. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so something here. Yeah, section, table. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So after 5 examples in part 2, I think you should learn a lot of basic things in PHP programming. So next, I think, with this preparation, background knowledge, we should be able to work on our project 2. All the features, most of the features, yeah, not too hard. Yeah. All right, so let me finish part 2. All the examples in part 2 right here.